morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to our weekly review of how religion impacts humanity. This week's headlines. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, died yesterday. At least 20 were hurt in a Palm Sunday bombing at an Indonesia cathedral. Attackers are believed to be part of the militant Islamic group. Churches draw up religious studies syllabus for Christian students as part of Pakistan's new national curriculum. Italy ends censorship of films on moral and religious grounds. Coming soon, Thomas John's Spirit Circle for Children. Nigerian President Buhari is not in London for prayers, says right-wing activist. Southampton Council is threatened with legal action for blocking a humanist from the Religious Education Committee. Limpopo Pastor farts on his congregants to heal them with God's power. Queen Elizabeth II's husband, Prince Philip, died peacefully at the age of 99. A modernist for his time, he worked to promote cordial interfaith relationships in a world where 8 out of 10 belonged to a faith. He made his own purpose, was interested in everything, and fascinated by science. In many ways, he showed us how to make a good job of being human. He will be sadly missed, including in Tanah, Vanuatu, where he was worshipped as a god. In Makassar, Indonesia, 2 attackers, believed to be members of a militant network that pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group, blew themselves up outside a packed Roman Catholic church during a Palm Sunday Mass on Indonesia's Sulawesi Island, wounding at least 20 people, police said. Reverend Williamus Tulak, a priest at the Sacred Heart of Jesus Cathedral in Makassar, said he had just finished celebrating Palm Sunday Mass when a loud bang shocked his congregation. He said the blast went off at about 10:30 a.m. local time as a first batch of churchgoers was walking out of the church and another group was coming in. He said security guards at the church were suspicious of 2 men on a motorcycle who wanted to enter the building, and when they went to confront them, one of the men detonated his explosives. Police later said both attackers were killed instantly, and evidence collected at the scene indicated one of the 2 was a woman. The wounded included 4 guards and several churchgoers, police said. One of the attackers was believed to have links to a church bombing in the Philippines. National Police Chief General Listio Sigit Prabowo told reporters when he visited the crime scene late Sunday that the 2 attackers are believed to have been members of the militant group Jemaah Ansharut Daulah, which has pledged allegiance to Islamic State group and was responsible for deadly suicide bombings on Indonesian churches in 2018. Churches in Muslim-majority Pakistan, shown in green on this map, are drawing up a program of Christian religious studies for inclusion in the government's new single national curriculum. The syllabus is designed to be taught to Christian students as an alternative to the compulsory subject of Islamiat, Islamic studies. Although Islamiat has been and will remain compulsory in all schools under the new national education policy due to be introduced in August, for many years Christian students have been given the option of studying ethics instead, a subject which carries the same weight as Islamiat towards their applications to continue in further education. The proposed change is that Christian students will be able to study Christianity as an alternative to Islamic studies. In recent years, there has been a growing demand among religious minorities for non-Muslim students to have their own religious lessons in place of Islamiat. Prime Minister Imran Khan said the introduction of the single curriculum in all Pakistan's public, private and religious schools would improve the quality of education and provide equal opportunities to all students. The new curriculum will be phased in over 3 years, starting with the youngest age group. Film censorship has been abolished, announced Culture Minister Dario Franceschini in a statement late on Monday. Hundreds of films have been censored in Italy over the past century, primarily for political, moral, and religious reasons. The system of controls and interventions that still allow the state to intervene in the freedom of artists has been definitively ended, he said. As a result, it will no longer be possible to block the release of a new film or demand edits for moral or religious reasons. Filmmakers will instead classify their own movies based on the age of the audience. Their decisions will be verified by a new commission made up of 49 members chosen from the film industry, who will also be experts in education and animal rights. It's a form of self-regulation. We are mature enough, said director Pupi Avanti, whose 1970s film Bordella was censored. Thomas John, in the USA, will be speaking to dead family members of children aged 5 to 12 and charging their parents $400 apiece for the opportunity. Every child is guaranteed a reading, and it's up to the parents, who have to attend, to decide if they think their child is mentally able to have conversations about death, grief, spirits, and afterlife. Thomas has taken some flack for this initiative, and he defended himself in this video. President Muhammadu Buhari supporters stormed the Abuja House in London, where the Nigerian leader is said to be going through a routine medical checkup, with placards praying for the president. It was a counter-rally in the wake of protest by an anti-Buhari group led by Reno Omokri, a former presidential aide at the same venue. Popular right-wing activist Aisha Yesufu reminded pro-Buhari protesters that the president had abandoned the poor healthcare system in his country and travelled abroad to get treated in a good healthcare system. Buhari did not go to the UK for prayers, he went for medical treatment, and he is getting it from the healthcare system built by people like him in their country. The healthcare system wasn't built by prayers, but by using the greatest miracle God gave humans, brains, plus a dose of empathy, she tweeted. Southampton City Council has been threatened with legal action for blocking a humanist from sitting on the committee for overseeing local religious education teaching. Mary Wallbank applied to be a voting member of Southampton's Standing Advisory Council on RE, SACA, the body that oversees RE, religious education, in local authority-funded schools. However, following consultation with the religious members of the committee, the council voted not to admit her. One Church of England representative allegedly said her joining the committee would be a Trotskyist move. Ms. Wallbank began the process of a legal challenge with the backing of Humanists UK, who claim the decision flies in the face of human rights law. Anxious to make sure that the council's resources were not overstretched during the pandemic, she proposed pausing the case if the council would reconsider the issue at a later date. That's something the council has now agreed to do. So a decision will be retaken in November. But Humanists UK said there was no guarantee that the decision will go in her favour. Self-styled pastor Christ Penelope, who founded Sevenfold Holy Spirit Ministries, reportedly farts on his congregants as a healing process that cures all spiritual and physical problems. The pastor from Guyani, Limpopo, gained viral attention after a photo of him sitting on a congregant's face and allegedly farting made the rounds on social media. After he was accused of hiding behind religion to perpetrate his disgraceful actions, the pastor defended himself, saying, "It's a demonstration of God's power." He claims he is following the divine example of putting people into a deep sleep before giving them the healing they need. Just like God made Adam go into a deep sleep. It's a similar thing, said Christ Penelope. Stay tuned on this channel for live Q&A show, Ask an Atheist, with guest Dr. Zachary Ardern, which starts in about 10 minutes. We will be back with our weekly news review on our platforms at the same time next week. Please like, share, comment, set the notifications, etc. Thank you for watching.